Good morning and welcome to another ironic introduction to another video. Today, well actually technically yesterday, they posted a rewards update for beginner, normal, heroic, and master difficulty for the event quest completion. I will post a link to this forum post in the description, as well as a link to the spreadsheet I used later. But I just want to give a quick shout out to Voltolos here. Thank you for putting the post of what MCOC had for the previous event rewards, as these are the numbers I used for my spreadsheet just to compare. And so the reason I generated a spreadsheet for this is because when you look at these updates, they don't give you like a how many more. And when you're looking at any kind of increase in rewards, it's incredibly important that you compare to what you were getting previously, because sometimes, and in this case, there are actually reductions. Not that it's misleading or anything. Overall, these are very good updates and upgrades, but it is important to see like how much are you actually getting, right? Because like if you don't know how much you're getting, these rewards mean nothing to you. It's just, hey, look, these are the rewards, instead of, hey, we updated the amount of rewards. Quick sidebar, they do have some solid flavor text here. Go ahead and read this for story. It's very interesting, as well as they give you information on who these two characters are in relationship to the game and their Marvel backstories. Some quick Q&A, quest starting June 5th, ending July 3rd, as well as having Legends run until June 19th. You will essentially have 2 weeks to go for Legends run, and unlike previously where it was just the people who completed it first, now it will be a time attack system. So over the course of 2 weeks, once you start your heroic Legends run, once you start your first heroic quest, and by the time you've 100% in master difficulty is when the legend timer ends. So you will want to just kind of sit down, hammer it all out in one day, pop some boosts, pop your energy refills, but now that will be tracked over the course of 2 weeks, and so you don't have to like take the day off of the event launch in order to do it. And then right back to the rewards. I'm not going to like go over it in here because I have a nifty spreadsheet, and I will keep the spreadsheet in the description. I feel like I'm speaking a little bit faster. Understand this is like my 5th time making this video because I keep making blasted mistakes, and I'm way too lazy to learn how to edit videos. I know it's kind of counterintuitive. So hammering through this beginner minor update, they got 1.2 more premium hero crystals, 85% of a 3-star crystal, 7 tier 4 ISO, 17,450 gold, and a 2-star yellow jacket. Overall solid changes. I don't think people will care about this at all, but for future reference, yes, the spreadsheet is ugly. No, I don't care. I made it really quickly because I'm losing a lot of time on Arena just by making this video, and I'm like already a rotation behind just because of how slow I am at making this video. So my apologies if you're like, man, this is a really ugly spreadsheet. I know it's not professionally made. I'm not trying to sell this spreadsheet. I'm just trying to make the data appear. But for future reference, if it's green in the column of updated, that means there was an increase. If it's below the title portion here, that means these are just straight ads, right? If there's nothing to compare it to, that means that there was nothing previously relatable, as well as this column over here is like what is additional. So for normal, normal gets the 3-star yellow jacket instead of Rocket Raccoon. I put those in the same bracket just because I feel like they're comparable. Normal does get 3.6 more premium hero crystals, but 3.5 sounds neat, so I'm going to use that instead. You get 0.5 more of a 3-star crystal. They took away the tier 4 basic catalyst fragments. I felt like this was unnecessary. Personally, just for consistency's sake, I don't like that you're like, oh, we're upgrading the rewards, but we actually took some stuff out. I just feel like this was unnecessary. 2,700 is, while it is a chunk of tier 4 basic, it's really not a lot. So I just feel like they didn't need to take that away in order to accomplish anything, but maybe they were just going for consistency here, because like consistency wise, this is way more consistent for one player who is completing normal difficulty, and most people don't complete this. I'm just weird. I have a lot of time to play, so I do take this 150 units, I dump it into energy refills, and I complete this on auto while I'm like eating or something. So for me, I'm just like, why did you take away my tier 4 basic? Small complaint, you know, small complaint. Next up, we do get 7 more tier 3 ISO and 17 more T4 ISO. This is nice. ISO is a time gate for a lot of people who don't whale crystals, and eventually it's just something you sell for gold. Either way, valuable. 2 tier 2 class catalyst crystals. So that's a solid update for people who are clearing normal. Like if you're full clearing normal, this is great for you because you're going to want that. That's going to help you so you're not being time gated by the weekly daily event, because, you know, it rotates once per week. You get 19,325 gold, as well as 10k coral for the T1 or T2 coral gate. This is essentially one run of the second difficulty of the coral event, so that's solid. And then heroic, this is where I'll slow down a little bit here because the heroic changes are a bit bigger. You get 3.225 more premium hero crystals. This is a solid change, you know. For a lot of people, this is ISO, but for people like me who still spin these out, this is 3 more that I get to spin out for giggles. Your 3-star crystal was upgraded to an ultimate crystal, so now people actually care about this. Plus, you know, I'll comment on this in just a quick moment. You will have 30% more of a 4-star crystal. And for the record, if you look at these combined, right, this is probably a dupe, so it's 55 fragments, which would be like roughly 1/20th. So 5%. So you're like, oh, this is 45% of a 4-star crystal. If you hypothetically got a 4-star from this would actually be 130% or 125% more of a 4-star crystal. If you get the 3-star, it's only 30% more. That number doesn't change, but that's like really cool. You do have that potential for getting that 95% increase gain as far as 4-stars go. I think that lottery draw is really cool. I personally would rather they just leave this as a 3-star crystal, call this a 4-star crystal, period, because then it kind of averages out the difference, instead of having like some people who are going to be sitting on 30% more and some people who are sitting on 125% more. Everybody will just be sitting on 60% more. But actually this way works out in Kabam's favor, just mathematically wise. If that doesn't make sense to you, I apologize. I can explain it in the comments, but right now showing my math would take too long. For the tier 4 basics, we do get 1.2 more, and I should comment that that's essentially taking what's over here and moving it over here and upping the value. So in the sense of like, if you're not someone who's full completing normal anyways, this is more valuable for you. So I shouldn't complain about this red line. I just hate seeing this red line here. It's such a waste. We do get 1 more tier 1 alpha. This is great. Because, you know, especially if you're someone who's full completing heroic, you know, more tier 1 alphas really great, especially because if you're not grinding the arena every 9 days, or if just that 1.6 million points in arena is too much, because even for me it's kind of a hassle, but I still try to do it every time. We do get 18 more tier 4 ISO, as well as 15 more tier 4 class catalyst fragment crystals. This is absolutely wonderful. If you're a player who's only playing like semi-casual, getting these extra class catalyst fragments, this means that in the long run you'll be able to like rank 5 some 4-star champions or rank up some 5-star champions in the long run. And this is one of the biggest gates in the game that's locked behind like Alliance Quest or Alliance War, or like high activity in the game, or just whaling. So having this added to it feels really good. Might not be enough to stop the gate, definitely isn't enough to stop the gate, but hey, at least it's something. You will receive 2 tier 3 class catalyst crystals, as well as 5 T5 ISO, that's like a nice pat on the back, and 28,825 gold. So when you start adding this gold across the board, it actually comes out to a sizable amount, as well as 10k tier 2 corals for the event. Next up is Master Difficulty, and in Master Difficulty we actually get 1.5 less 3-star crystals. Again, I don't feel like this was necessary. You could make the argument 3 stars are usually dupes, you know, right, if you're at the point where you're killing masters. So it's essentially just sig levels on your 3-star or a max 6 stone, as well as 4-star crystal shards. I just feel like, you know, maybe give us a little less 4-star crystal shards. And I know that's just me being nitpicky, but I really hate seeing subtractions. Like, it's just such a pain. But next up, you do get way more 4-star crystal shards. You actually get over double the amount. So now you will be getting more than 2 4-star crystals at 1.15 more, as well as 12.5% more 5-star crystals. Again, this is nearly double the amount, more like 42% or 43% or something like that. I apologize for not doing the math there. But just 12.5% more of a crystal is what I mean by that. Not like 12.5% more than previously, just to clarify. That's a really solid amount. Like when you're nearly doubling this amount, that means people will be getting 5-star crystals at the very base just by completing Master Difficulty of the event. They will be getting 3 a year. And let me tell you, it's much faster than 3 a year if you're grinding the arena, pumping out other portions of the event, have gotten uncollected, etc., etc. So this feels really good. I think this is a welcome change. It might not be enough. It's really tough to gauge. I think this was leaning towards a generous raise in the amount of 5-star shards you're getting, but at the same time, it was leaning towards safe as far as not over power creeping the game. You do get 0.22 more of a T4 basic. Again, just kind of like making this number neat. I love that. 1.78 is an ugly number. 2T2 is a great number. I love that. 40 more tier 4 class catalyst fragment crystals. And again, I think this is really great. I think these, well, yeah, no, it's just really hard to say any of these increases won't feel amazing, right? All of these are struggles for players. But I definitely think these class catalyst fragments are one of the bigger gates in the long run. I mean, short of tier 2 alpha, but unfortunately we didn't see an increase in this. This is a big one. I think not seeing an increase in this is going to affect a lot of the closer to endgame or slash like at endgame players. That's an unfortunate reality, but I feel like this is something that we'll see when they eventually do the uncollected update, which if they don't do, I think we'll have a problem. So 12 T5 ISO, 38,825 gold, and 10,000 of the T3 coral. And then finally, essentially no change to uncollected except for a troll amount of gold, right? Like, you get more gold in beginner. Again, this is just one of those things where I'm like, is this a typo? Because if it's not, you're just asking to be flamed. You are just asking to be flamed. Why do that to yourself? The event coral, of course, but again, I don't really count that. That's part of the event. And then no changes. So after this, I have a lot to say about this changes. Let me just state my stance right now. I'm actually split decision. I think that the major changes we see over here, etc., is not something I would expect to see in uncollected this month. I'm actually of that standpoint. If you're like, no, they really needed to full rework it, revamp it, upgrade it massively, I don't think you're wrong. I just don't think this month was the month to do that. But I am on the side that believes they needed to tweak these a bit. Just a bit. And I will talk about that in my rant video while I grind arena, just because this video is supposed to be about the update, and I've done that for you. So at this moment, I'll talk to you in, well, hopefully soon.